we've detected an anomaly in the Azure Nebula. Because of the Tholian activity in that area, we're concerned that they may be attempting to open a rift to the mirror universe. I need a ship to go out there and check it out.
That seems like it's going to be us, and whilst we were going to be starting a new ship on this mission, we've decided it's not ready yet, and that's the Voyager. No, that isn't even. That's Voyager J. So, Temporal investigators are gonna have a nightmare tonight and tomorrow. But anyway, as of Captain Lafarge, this is Captain Lafarge is going to getting us our ship ready. We're going to be doing a job for him. We're in our old ship, so we're going to be getting the Ambassador class ship. Sadly, this was not going to be one that we'll be able to fly at level 65. A new uniform and some delivery more. So that's seems pretty decent. Well then, time to head out. Captain, Starfleet Command reports that a space-time anomaly has been seen in the area of space. The following activity in the region, they want to check it out and see what we can learn. Our ancestors is locking in coordinates now. Okay, and here we go. And that's odd. I'm no longer detecting anything in front of us. We pick up something similar and possibly same anomaly at a new location. Updated the coordinates on the map. So yeah, there it is. What? Is that world's class? Again. D7. Again.
Scanning in progress.
And again. We have got something around here. Is that Ambassador class? Is it Enterprise C? Let's just get this anomaly.
Scanning in progress.
Right, Pivot, requesting permission to dock at Falling Base. Permission granted, you're authorized to dock for docking Bay 3. Sorry about that, I have to speak for the Folians this time around. And every day on the job, let's check in with Franklin Drake.
Do you have a question?
Because this is going to be somewhat a long one, but we can check with everyone around here and ask about themselves. But I'm back with the tech site statement.
Thank you, Captain. The Tholian Assembly appreciates your loyalty. So many ship captains threw away their lives needlessly in the days after they annexed this area of space. It'll take a few hours to offload your cargo. Feel free to grab a hot meal in the commissary. I know that comforts can be hard to come by in this sector. I recommend the plomeek soup. It almost tastes like something.
Okay, thanks.
Do you need anything else?
Not at the moment. Mr. Mav? You look familiar. So do you. I've been to other work camps in the sector. Tell me about yourself. Not about I'm really about 6 weeks now, working in a cargo base. Pretty good at fixing things, even without doing the foreign give us. Yeah. So you haven't guessed. Things have changed. Let's meet to the town.
Hello.
Tell me about yourself.
For all I know, you could be informing on me to the Tholians. But if I don't answer, you'll probably tell them I'm hiding something. Fine. My name is Datan. I was born on Romulus. After the war, I signed on to a freighter crew working the Bolian run. My captain got in trouble with the Tholians, and I ended up here. I'm a true and loyal servant of the Tholians, and I don't want any trouble. Now go away and leave me alone. I have work to do. Don't bother me.
And yes, that is so stuff. Pretty nice. Everyone, there is a reason why I left someone out. Salmek,
It's too bright in here.
tell me about yourself.
Why? Why would you care about me? No one cares about me. I don't even care anymore. Go away. Go away. And leave me alone.
Caroline Fletcher. Tell me about yourself. Caroline Fletcher. More people call me the chief. A little bit of everything. Security, ship work, cargo holding, everything that pays and gets me to the next part. You look familiar. Yeah, I've seen you around. When the one caught cheating at Tango game in Rosella. Bring it. And his Russian buddies break your arms. How long were you out of action? Yep. And a very familiar face is Mom. Mom, go on, tell us about yourself. Yeah. And speak to Ian Garrick. Mr. Garrick,
Have we met?
tell me about yourself.
You're just asking to be polite, aren't you? I find idle chatter so tedious these days. Still, it's a way to pass the time. My name is Elim Garrick. I used to be a member of the Cardassian government until I had a conflict with a rival faction. Politics on my world can be quite cutthroat. Now I'm here. It's better than execution, but only just. The food here is terrible, and the company is worse.
Right.
Another question?
Nope. And we've got Tanae and Velkoshan.
Yes,
Tell me about yourself.
my name is Tanae, and for many years I served in Starfleet. After the war was lost, I joined a resistance movement attempting to liberate the core worlds. We failed. We were able to keep the Klingons at bay, but not the Dominion and their allies. After the Breen destroyed Earth and the Dominion occupied Betazed, continued resistance was illogical. Against all reason, we continued our fight as our resistance cells fell, one by one. You might say I was one of the fortunate ones. I survived. I would not agree. Do you require anything else?
Okay, Sean.
How can I assist you?
How about yourself?
I'm Valkel Sean, captain of the Belfast. I run freight for the Tholians. Basic supplies, mostly. But once in a while, they need me to pick up dilithium from the mines on Remus. We're in dock here for a few days getting some repairs done. Cut too close to the Konos blast zone on my last trip back, and ran into some raiders. They won't trouble anyone again. But they fused half my power conduits and fried the deflector before I managed to take them out. If there's anything else you need, let me know.
There's 10. And we've got Obisek.
I will be free.
How about yourself?
My name is Obisek. Once my people served the Romulans. Now we have new masters. I will serve for now, because to refuse would be my death. But when the time is right, we'll rise up against our oppressors and destroy them. If you would be free, watch for an opportunity. The Tholians will show their weakness soon enough. Do not waste my time.
Indeed. There's going to be a Klingon up here. Now, this fellow's maybe not seen that often, but we should have a chat with him. That.
What do you want?
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Bavat. Before the Tholians conquered the Empire, I was the leader of a great house. I sat on the High Council and spoke for the Empire on more than a dozen worlds. None of that matters now. The past is nothing to a slave. I will die here in service to the Tholians, just like you will. Ask your question.
And Ian Crumb in the bed. You're right. Tell me yourself. Ian Crumb, I've worked on a few ships, but Kagako's don't need science officers how to find the birth these days. You don't know a ship that's looking for a crew, do you? I'm going to work hard. I aim cookie if that's what a ship needs. And we get out of this work camp. You look familiar? I get that. It must be one of those places. Now, yes, you just spotted 3 of our crew and Eric. I can't remember if we haven't actually seen her yet. So, Eric.
You looking for something?
How about yourself?
I'm Farrick. Wheeling and dealing is my game. At least it was, until the webheads put a stop to any trade that doesn't benefit them. Still, I know how to get a few things. You looking for bonus replicator rations? Maybe a bottle of authentic pre-war Romulan ale? If you've got something to trade, I've got what you need. Hey.
Yeah, bring it. As always. Let's go grab our lunch. Yeah, to supplement 47.
I haven't seen you around here before, Captain.
Never right. Richard Castillo.
Got a minute to talk?
Tell me about yourself.
Call me Castillo. Not a lot to tell, I guess. I'm Lieutenant J.G. Richard Castillo, Helm Officer of the USS Enterprise C, an unwilling time traveler. I'm normally the Helm Officer, but I'm Senior Officer now that Captain Garrett and the rest of the senior staff are gone. I've got to do what the Captain would want. Get us back to where we belong, and finish what we set out to do. I know this is hard to accept, but we're not supposed to be here.
I'm new here.
I know. I asked around about you, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling you this, but I need your help. You're not supposed to be here. None of us are. Not in this timeline, I mean. My ship, my crew. We were supposed to do something important. We went through an anomaly, moved through time, and everything changed.
Right,
We tried to go back. I guess the battle with the Klingons disrupted the anomaly. Instead of getting back where we belong, we ended up here with the Tholians running everything. I'd never even seen a Tholian before. You have to help us set things right. You have to help us get back to our ship.
what are you talking about? Who's this us?
Me and my crew. There are a little over 100 of us here, scattered throughout the work camp. We're about 65 years ahead of where we should be, according to my math. We were fighting the Romulans. This was back in 2344. And the weapons discharges caused a temporal rift. We passed through, and because we weren't at Narendra to do what we were supposed to do, the timeline changed. We ended up in a timeline where the Federation and the Klingon Empire were at war, and the Federation was losing, badly. We tried to go back to set things right, but then the Klingons found us and the Enterprise D. There's someone here with us from that timeline. Her name is Tasha. I'll take you to her. Maybe she can help explain this.
Okay, lead on. Yes, you may have spotted out those some standing on the ears. Oops. I always forget that you've got to follow him, not run ahead. Okay.
Got a minute to talk?
Tasha, yeah.
We need your help.
Tell about yourself.
My name is Tasha Yar. I was Chief Tactical Officer of the USS Enterprise D. In my timeline, we were fighting a war against the Klingons, and I was proud to do my part to protect the Federation. What I learned, though, in the correct timeline, history as it should be, I died a meaningless death. I accepted the risks when I put on the uniform, and I don't regret what happened. But if I'm going to die, I want it to mean something. That's why I chose to go back with the Enterprise C. I know this is a lot to accept, but you have to trust us.
Okay, so what's going on here?
I'm from Starfleet, and if I'm right, that's a name that should ring bells with you as well. In an alternate timeline from this one, the correct one, Starfleet is still alive and well, and you're a Starfleet officer too. When the Enterprise C moved ahead in time, it created an alternate timeline, one in which I was alive but shouldn't have been. I left with the Enterprise to set things right.
Okay.
We thought we were returning to the Narendra system in 2344 to defend the Klingon colony there from a Romulan attack. We ended up in this nebula in 2409. The Tholians caught us before we could try again, and you can guess the rest. We're going to try to restore the timeline, but to do so, we need the Enterprise C. It's still in the hangar here, and as soon as we get back to her, we'll find the temporal rift and get back to where and when we're supposed to be. To do that, we need your help.
Come in, what do you need me to do?
Franklin Drake is already helping us. He managed to get an access key used to operate the systems in the hangar control room. We need you to get the code from Drake and use it to open the doors to the hangar control room. I'd go myself, but we've already been here a week. The Tholians know we're trying to get back to the ship. They're watching us. But you're new. They won't suspect you're involved. That's the idea, at least. Of course, it's not as simple as getting the code and opening the door. The Tholians have guards on all critical areas. You'll need to slip past the guards and get into the maintenance tunnels. From there, it's a winding maze to the hangar control room, which can only be unlocked from the inside. Once you get in, you'll be able to open the doors. We'll be waiting there to help you free the Enterprise.
I'll do it. What's next?
Here, take this communicator. It's on a scrambled frequency the Tholians don't monitor, and it'll allow me to contact you while you're on the move. Maybe you can convince someone to cause a distraction. That might make slipping past the guards into the tunnels easier.
Right, thanks. Well, we've missed out 2 people, as I said. Neelan,
This place isn't what it's supposed to be.
tell about yourself.
My name is Neelan. I'm an Alorian. Some people would call me a wanderer. I go from place to place, listening to the universe, to the people. And then I look at you and this place and I can't explain it, but it's wrong. All of it. You're not supposed to be here. None of us are. Something's not right here.
Can you tell me what's supposed to happen?
I can't see it clearly. I just know that something is wrong. That woman over there, does she have a daughter? Someone named Sela. I know that's important, but there are a lot of other things. I'm sorry, it's difficult to put into words. What I can tell you is that if someone asks for your help, give it. That will set things right. Something's...
And yes, we're now speaking to everyone, and we get that accolade. As this one, whoop. And Franklin Drake.
Do you have a question?
Tell about yourself.
My name is Franklin Drake. I was born on a little colony world on the edge of Cardassian space. After the Federation fell to the Klingons, a lot of people moved out of the war zones to try to make new lives. It worked. For a while. When the Bajorans discovered that wormhole and the Dominion invaded, no world, no matter how remote, was safe. I signed on to help fight the Dominion, for all the good that did. The Dominion swallowed the Bajorans whole, and then joined up with the Breen and the Cardassians to destroy the Klingons and the Romulans. After that, it was just a matter of carving up the Alpha Quadrant. The Tholians got this piece of space in exchange for signing a non-aggression pact with the Dominion. It wasn't hard to see that the only way to survive was to sign on. Now I'm like you. I work for the Tholians, and in exchange I get a cot, a couple of replicated meals, and the chance to live for one more day. With a little luck, I'll get through tomorrow, too. Do you need anything else?
Yeah, and Castillo said you have a key for me.
Take it. Here's a map, too. You'll need it in the tunnels. I still don't know why I'm risking my neck for this. Don't expect any more help from me. The Federation fell before I was born. I shouldn't even care, but there's something about Yar and Castillo. I know they believe they can make a difference. It makes me want to believe.
Thank you, I'll take the risks now.
Do you need anything else?
Nope. And now we can go around and talk to half-dozen people and try and convince them to fight. And just to give you an idea, Ristamic
It's too bright in here.
didn't say anything. Now, if you're Romulan, you would speak to Obisek.
I will be free.
Can I get you to create a diversion for us? We need to reach the control room.
Your plan is foolhardy. If you want to die, do it without my assistance.
Sorry to bother you. You can convince all these characters, but for a Federation character, you're going to convince me with Sean, and if you're Klingon, you want to convince that.
How can I assist you?
Can you get you to create a diversion for us? We need to get to the control room.
I don't remember the Federation, or Starfleet. The war was almost over before I was born. This is the only life I know. One of servitude, deprivation, loss. I want something better. That freedom my parents and grandparents told me about. I want the Federation back. I'll help. Just tell me what you need.
Now, we don't go to wait for the diversion. I'm going to take around Mr. Garrick for a few minutes.
Hey! Get down here! You big salt shaker! One puncture, and you'll freeze! Let's rumble.
And I can't remember what. He does go on like about fighting a bit, but let's enter these maintenance tunnels.
Well done. Those maintenance tunnels are a maze. They make navigating the Jeffries tubes on the Enterprise look easy. I recommend using the map to keep track of where you've been, what doors lead away from which room, and where you are currently.
And the trick is to now navigate yourself around with using the hand-drawn map. And this is the map. And believe it or not, I'm going to be visiting every room. So let's carry on going straight ahead. Straight ahead.
We've hit a snag. There are Tholians in the control room. When they're in there, they pump in a Tholian-friendly atmosphere and raise the temperature. It will kill us if we try to enter. You'll need to replace the methane-based atmosphere with something we can breathe and lower the ambient temperature in the control room before we can continue as planned.
Why would the Tholians put a system in place that could create a hostile environment for us?
The Tholians are very precise. They want to learn everything they can about the ships they're capturing. All rooms connected to the hangars have their atmospheres exchanged to prevent damage to the systems they're dismantling for study. Also, sometimes they force humanoids to do the work for them, so they'll pump in something we can handle.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh dear. It's dead, Jim. Well, so that's a good girl. But yeah, you get some weird accolades from this one. Now, I actually have gone through the wrong door, so I should have taken the left at the first entrance. And we get a crate and another accolade. And we got some Mark 13 armor, tactical kit. Not particularly brilliant for me, but I could find someone that could use that one. And it is the place where the methane gas is vented in. And we're now beginning in our action base thing in the system room. And when in doubt, you can always check the map. Let's get going. Oops, we've gone the wrong way. Actually, we haven't gone the wrong way. I'm just going to show the last area of the. Let's consult the wisest trivial. As a tripper, please share your wisdom. Some creature for a moment, then rolls around, looking towards your food. Then you realise you're talking triple. Maybe we need to actually turn us for too long. Maybe it's the gas fumes. Yeah. You get too silly. Now, everyone remember where we parked? Is to fill up this map, and Rising Trouble is purely a reference. It's purely for talking to that trouble. And what? Here we are in that control room. Now, let's open this door, and we pick up 3 people. We've got Tanae,
We don't have much time.
Tessia, and Castillo. Now, we need to do 4 tasks over here, so Tessia.
We don't have much time. I know a few tricks to take that tractor beam system offline. I'm also fairly confident that with enough time, I can release the docking clamps holding the ship, or take down the Tholian's web shielding. We don't have much time. I know a few tricks to take that We don't have much time.
So we're going to give you the quickest one. So we're going to disable get Tessia to disable the tractor beams. You can always make them get to the worst for another accolade, but it takes. I really just don't need
We
to
need to work together. What do you want me to do?
Because giving it.
I was the helm officer on the Enterprise before everything went to hell. But I'm really handy with heavy machinery, like those clamps holding the ship. And I know I could take care of those and get us free. If you need me to do something else, maybe I could work on that web shield. It will need to come down before we can fly out of here. Or the ship's power.
Overriding
I know every inch of the old girl. If I could figure out the Tholian interface, I might be able to connect to the ship and restore the power remotely. We need to work together. What do you want me to do?
You're talking about the docking clamps, so tonight it's on 2 tasks.
Assist. What do you require?
So, what's your specialty?
My first posting in Starfleet was to an ambassador-class vessel.
I'm changing the targeting
I
subroutines
am
for the tractor
with
beams.
most of the ship's systems, but I spent several months working on a refit of the ship's computer. I am confident I can restore the ship's power levels quickly. Also, I do have some experience with Tholian technology from my time in the Resistance. If you prefer, I could attempt to deactivate the web shield or tractor beams.
Tractor beam is disabled.
I am here to assist.
So you're going to restore the power levels and it leads us to do one task, and that's disable the web emitters. And I believe that is the entrance to the room before, and we'll have to wait for a second or two for today to finish their job. I mean, at least we aren't it's been ages just trying to. That's the clamps gone, and right over there. The lights up, so we're ready to go. So let's get moving on. So let's go for this door. Oh no.
I thought you deactivated all the security protocols.
I did too. Although.
Do you want me to do that for you? I know a few things about force fields. Having trouble? You do know that we could have Tholians swarming us any minute, right?
Yeah.
I thought we took care of everything. Starfleet Protocol 547C clearly states...
I don't think the Tholians have heard of Protocol 547C.
She's quite a ship. It's too bad we'll have to sacrifice her to restore the timeline.
And yes, you get a accolade for looking at the ship. So let's get aboard. I believe it, ladies and gentlemen, I am now piloting the Enterprise. Yes, you heard me correctly. Now, this is a somewhat...
Captain, I'm detecting Tholian mesh weavers headed for our position.
like some of the other previous missions where we got some
Tholian orb weavers on an intercept course. Tholian recluses moving into weapons range. I recommend base evacuation.
Indeed. Boom.
Tholian tarantula on sensor.
That's not good. The good news is we're on the right side of the tarantula. And this is just running whatever weapon we can get hold of. Because there's finally a cannon there as well.
Just appeared out of nowhere and destroyed that Tholian tarantula. I've never seen a ship of that configuration before. Or wonder...
We took a hit. Phasers are... Looks like we could use some help.
Target shield has failed.
The way is clear, and the temporal anomaly has been stabilized. Head for the anomaly, Enterprise. It will put you back where you need to be.
Who are you, and how do you know where we need to be?
That's my job. The details aren't important. Restoring the timeline is. Get moving. The Tholians are already starting to regroup.
Thanks for your help. Setting cost now. And sadly, this is the last time we're going to be flying the Enterprise. And before you ask, it's the only time you get to see it. And no, we can't even take these off. I tried. It's a good ship, but sadly, we no longer have going to be able to fly her. Where am I? What am I doing here?
I'm sure you've realized by now, you're part of a very different timeline. This one is an aberration that we are here to correct. It would be irresponsible of us to let you go back in time with the Enterprise C, and compromise that timeline as well.
So we're going to do me then.
We'll send you back to your time. There are still some very important events in the 25th century that you need to be a part of.
So how do I get back?
As soon as the Enterprise C returns to its correct place in history, the timeline should right itself.
What's happened? Strangely, I thought someone says it's gone. Everything's quiet. No foreigners, no other ships remains, and then normally Starfleet want to just investigate is gone. We can depart on your orders. Yeah, let's head out of this nebula. We don't need the hangar deck full of nebula. It's never good for having an indoor nebula.
There wasn't anything there. That's strange.
And yeah, there's still much else for the thought. Now, because I'm not going to be doing this mission again for the Klingon side of things, I'm going to say right now that if you're a Klingon character, you will be getting the special requisition pack with a Klingon cruiser for it. I'm going to pop both the. Going to pop the stat pages for both of them up now. For a second. Then we've got the yesterday's Enterprise uniform, which is basically the belt and strap you should have seen in the yesterday's Enterprise episode. And we get some dilithium. Very nice. And that's it for this time. Next time, I'm thinking about doing getting our new ship out and then working out some things to do with time. Yeah. I've got something about an old Romulan thing. Well, then Daniel's got will explain that to me later. Until then, be Max Straight Rider. And see you next time.